you. Okay. Hi, I hope you're well. Welcome to another week of me being in Malaysia. And I feel like I might look a bit rough. Yeah, my hair's not really done. I did take a shower, but I'm going to be honest, I couldn't be bothered to wash my hair, so here we are. I haven't really sat down to make an update in a while. I think the last clip that you've probably seen was me going to the eco park, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I just wanted to make a little bit of an update on life in general. I have my laptop here, so if I'm looking down a lot, it's because I've made a couple of notes. I've just been visiting a lot of places and doing lots of things just to check off my bucket list whilst I'm here, which still does feel a bit surreal, even though it's pretty much been a month now since I've been here. Yeah, I think this vlog won't be up for a while. I think it's currently the 15th of July, so yeah, this vlog won't be up for a while. Well, it's because I have like other videos planned. Obviously, by the time this vlog is up, they would have been up already, but I need to finish editing those first because the last 2 weeks that I've vlogged, I've got so much footage to get through that I think it's going to take me a while to edit. So I'm thinking I'm going to post a couple of shorter videos before I post my vlogs. But in the meantime, I thought I'd do an update on just how it's been going. I think the last 2 weeks after my trip to Malacca have been just kind of chill. We stayed in, obviously, Kuala Lumpur, just visiting lots of places. We've been to the Batu Caves, temples. There's a couple of temples. And I still have some things left. So I still have a whole month here. So I think it's going to be a bit more chill. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I have a couple of things that I still want to get through. Hopefully I'll be doing some of them this week. I think this week is probably going to be kind of a chill one as well. I do have a reading update actually. I haven't really been showing my day-to-day when I'm like at home because it's not really been that interesting. I usually just either sit and draw for a little bit if I feel inspired. I've been catching up on YouTube. But yes, so the eco park. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been I've never been to a park that tropical before. It was so crazy to me to be surrounded by such enormous plants. And I know that sounds like probably such a random thing to say, but like genuinely, I feel like because I've only travelled in Europe and I've only seen, I guess you could say, European nature. I don't know. I'm not like a massive nature lover or anything like that, but I do enjoy it. Like, obviously I don't like bugs. I'm not a massive, I don't know, who's a fan of bugs? If you're a fan of bugs, props to you. I wish I was that person, but I'm not, sadly. But to be honest, like, we were there and we arrived in the morning, which I'm really glad that we did, which I'll get to in a minute. But we arrived in the morning and there was a few signs outside about the bugs that you could find in there and to be careful. And also not to feed the monkeys, obviously, but which I wasn't anticipating to see monkeys, but they were there. They were really cute. They were mostly like small monkeys. We saw like one big one, but mainly really small ones, which were really cute. They're so cute. And no, they did not come up to us. We did not bring any food for that reason. I did a little bit of research beforehand, and basically to go to the eco park, it's right next to the KL Tower, and the entrance is kind of like down a slope. You go get your ticket. I think I paid 40 RM, which is around €9, £9, something around that number. But my boyfriend who I went with, he paid less. So locals don't have to pay as much as internationals, which is obviously fair enough. I think it's pretty much in every country like that, maybe apart from the UK. I'm not sure, because I know that some places in Italy do this. Because when I went traveling with my boyfriend to Italy and we went to a couple of places like castles and stuff, he had to pay more, whereas I didn't, because I'm considered a local, like I was born there. So anyway, so he paid a lot less, but nonetheless we went in and there were two entrances. So you could either go to the herbal garden Or you could go to like the canopy. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically just like little huts, and you walk around the forest from like a higher level on bridges, basically. And that was so cool. We went to the bridges first, and honestly, like, as someone who's scared of heights, I was fine. Like, the bridge wasn't that wobbly. It was fine. It's like super secure. It's attached with like ropes and multiple lines, and there's like a limit of people that can go on. I think it was like 10 people at a time. But yeah, it was really great. I loved it. It was so nice, and I honestly wish there was more places like that in the UK, because the UK has a lot of greenery, and the only place that I've been to which is sort of similar that I could think of was when I went to Go Ape. If you know what Go Ape is, it's kind of like an activity thing in like the woods where you can like climb up, go on bridges and do all these kind of stuff. But it's kind of like that, but this was more fun because it was so much more chill. I saw people go with like their children, and we went in the morning, so it was about 10 a.m. ish, and they usually open at 9. So we ended up going all the way around, and then we went down and we ended up going to the herbal garden. Now, the herbal garden was a little bit more, I would say, it was a lot deeper into the forest. So there was like, it was a bit windy, so there was like a couple of leaves like falling on our head, and the leaves obviously there are quite big. So I kept thinking that something like an insect was falling on my head, but it was just the leaves. I was just a bit paranoid, but it was so humid. I think it wasn't hot. It wasn't like, you know, that dry heat you get in Europe. It's not like that. It's more like moist heat. It's kind of like sitting in a sauna, which to some people is worse. But for me, I think, I don't know, I feel like it's nice to sweat out your toxins, and that might sound really gross. But it was nice because even though I was literally top to bottom sweaty, there was a slight breeze, and when the breeze came, it was really nice. What else? Yeah, we went to the herbal garden. It was nice. That's when we got to see the monkeys, and I didn't see many insects. I literally saw like maybe some giant ants. That's it. The park wasn't that big as I thought it was. I was like preparing myself for it to be like a 2 to 3 hour thing, and we actually got it done within like, I want to say like an hour or just under an hour. As soon as we left though, it started drizzling. Yeah, after we left, we went to the toilet just to like wash our faces and stuff, refresh ourselves, and then we walked up to the KL Tower, and we were actually thinking that, oh, we should just check it out to see if we wanted to like go up there, because it would have been nice to like see the city from above, you know. But we looked at the tickets, and it was a little bit overpriced to what I had expected it to. It was something like 140 to see the sky deck and go all the way up to see the city from above for internationals. And then even my boyfriend had to pay so much more. He, like, the locals had to pay like 50 or 70 ringgit. I think for us was a little bit overpriced. So I mean, it's not that important to see the city from like above. Like, it's fine. I don't mind skipping that. I think after that we just went home and I continued reading. Weirdly enough, there was like 3 different copies of the same book, but they were like different covers. One of them was shiny, one of them was matte, but it was bigger. And then this one, which is kind of like holographic, has these like shiny, you probably won't be able to see it on camera because I'm not sitting against the window, but it's this book right here. It has a really nice plot. So it's basically about this girl who can see threads connecting people, and I think she meets somebody who has like a different colored thread or something like that, and they get together to kind of like solve some sort of like mysterious murder or something like that. This book plot really reminded me of this series, this K-drama that's been going around on my For You page on TikTok. called S-Line. I think it's called S-Line, and I do want to watch that. Yeah, it really reminds me of that, but in book form. Well, this is like a bit of a different plot. I think there's a bit of a romance here. I think there's a bit of like romance. Yeah, it says shimmering with romance, passion, mystery, and myth. So hopefully this is good. I have not read any reviews on this. I probably should, but I won't, because I don't want to be skewed. Like, I don't want to read a review that's bad, that says this book is bad, and then it might refrain me from reading it, because I have finally come to the end of reading King of Pride, and I'm so glad, because it's taken me so long, and I feel like it's because I lost the book initially. So I don't know if I mentioned this, I can't remember, but basically when I was coming here to Malaysia, I brought the book with me, so I was pretty much halfway through it, and I was like, oh, I'll just read it on the plane, like I'll be done with it, whatever. Yeah, turns out I left that book on the plane with my bookmark, which I got from Amsterdam from the Van Gogh gallery. And I'm honestly more sad about the bookmark than about the book, because I got the book back, but I'm never gonna get that bookmark again unless I go back to Amsterdam, which is honestly kind of sad. Actually, I've been thinking about it, and I might go back to Amsterdam. I really liked it, and I wish I vlogged. I really wish that I vlogged that trip, because it was my first ever solo trip. But to be fair, back then I was too shy and a bit too scared, I think, to kind of film on my own, especially in public on my own, which I still am a little bit. Like, I don't know, I feel like some people might find it differently, where like if you have someone next to you and you're filming, you might be like, oh, I might not want to do that, which sometimes I still have that if there's too many people. But if I'm like with my boyfriend, I actually don't mind filming. Like, actually, it brings a bit more comfort if he's there with me filming. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a it's kind of like a two-person job instead of just me like randomly filming. Tangent over. Anyway, so yeah. So I got that book again, and I've been reading it for the past week or so, and yeah, I'm pretty much at the end. I think I have like 3 more chapters left. I'll probably do a review once I completely finish it, maybe in this vlog, who knows. But I really am keen on starting to read this one. It sounds really good, so let's hope for the best. One last thing before I stop talking, finally. I do have a couple of places that I still want to go this week. These places that I'm about to mention are all around Chinatown. Rex KL. Then there is the city. Okay, I probably cannot pronounce this, so I really apologize. I'll put it on the screen. But there's this city Maha Mariamman temple. I also want to go to a night market maybe this weekend. We'll see. Kauai Chai Hong, and obviously go back to Central Market. I have quite a few souvenirs that I still want to get for people, including my family and friends. So that's probably what's happening. And maybe if I have time, I want to go and check out this shopping center, which is like apparently got a lot of vintagey things in there. It's called AM Corp. And probably just check out the convenience shops, because I've got a video that I still need to edit that is going up in a couple of weeks about convenience shops. I'm hoping it's not going to be too cringe if I do that, but who cares, it's fine. If I can sit down and edit this 23 minutes of me yapping, then I can get through it. I think it's fine. I think it's also my friend's birthday this week, Jenny, so happy early birthday, Jenny. And yeah, there is still quite a few things that I want to go to, a couple of parks and probably other galleries and places. We'll see how the week goes. Hopefully I'm not going to be too tired, because that time of the month is closing by this week, so we'll see if my energy levels will probably drop, so I don't know. We'll see how much I get done, but regardless, I will see you later, and I hope you enjoy this video. Bye. I wanted to just come on here and do a bit of an update, like a live update, because I feel like, again, I haven't spoken in a while. I've just been doing voiceovers for my previous videos, so I thought I'd sit down and do a bit of an update before I go and edit. Again, I feel like that's the only really creative thing that I've been doing lately. It's just editing loads. But on a more positive note, I have finally finished this drawing that I've been working on. So I've been working on this like floral basket drawing. I don't know if you can see very well, but it's finally done, so I can post it today. And what else? I feel like the last time I spoke, I was also talking about reading. So I finally finished The King of Pride by Anna Huang, and I think I left a review a bit earlier in the video, but I've started reading the other book that I got, which is Threads That Bind. Now, I've only gotten to about the first chapter, I think. Yeah. So I've read the epilogue, and so far it seems intriguing. Like, I feel like this book is going to be a bit of a whirlwind, from what I gathered. Like, I like how there's different parts to it. So it's like part 1, and then this is like part 2. So, and I'm not sure if we're going to get different POVs, but who knows, honestly. Let me read the blurb actually. She can see threads, shimmering lines connecting people. When a relationship is formed, a new thread appears. When a person's life thread is cut, it's time to die. One night, Lo, I think it's either Lo or Io, but I think Lo, is witness to a violent, mysterious murder along with Ide, a member of a dangerous mob who rule Alante. And what Lo can see immediately, although Ide cannot, is that there is a bright silver fate thread connecting them. This boy is her destiny. Lo and Ide are thrown together to solve the case, and as Lo grapples with the secrets lurking beneath Alante's surface, she must decide whether to embrace her fate and give in to her growing desire for Ide, or whether to cut the thread and set him free. So it's advertised as a shimmering with romance, passion, mystery, and myth. This spellbinding story will leave you breathless. I thought this was just up my alley. I love books that have a bit of mystery, but also that involve a little bit of romance and mystical things. Like, again, she can see threads. Obviously, that's not like a normal human thing. So I love that kind of supernatural aspect to it. And I'm hoping it's going to be a good book. And I'm also finally using my lace bookmark that I made a while ago. I really need to get back into lace making. I feel like it's been almost a month since I've done anything, and I feel bad because I brought this pillow over all the way from England here to keep up with it, and I just haven't had time. I've also been adjusting. I feel like this whole month, it's taken me a whole month to kind of adjust, to the weather and to the environment, so I also haven't really been feeling that creative. This is literally the only drawing and the only reading I've done, which is strange because obviously these are the things that I really like doing and that kind of keep me going. But again, I feel like when you're in a country where you're just constantly doing something, whether it's visiting or going out, trying new things, you need to like kind of leave space for also processing that, So yeah, I haven't really been on my game in terms of that, but I do want to get back into it, maybe this week, because maybe by the end of this week, start of next week, because I also feel like I haven't been filming much this week. It's that time of the month again, and this always happens to me regardless of where I am. I just feel more low and demotivated, but as soon as it's over, I'm back to just being my normal self and wanting to do more things. So now I also wanted to do a quick haul because I've basically just been going out, I guess, to different shops this week more than anything. I do still have a couple of touristy things. I think I mentioned that I wanted to go to the lake garden and a couple of different places, but that hasn't happened yet this week, obviously. But I did go into Muji the other day and I got myself like a couple of things. So obviously I came to Malaysia and I brought this small sketchbook with me, as well as like a couple of pens and pencils, but I don't own a small travel size pencil case. I feel like all of my pencil cases are fabric, and if I take them anywhere, I've had this happen before where they are too bulky, or I have this tiny one at home back in the UK where I keep all the little USB sticks in, but that one is like falling apart already, and I just thought I would grab a new one, and I got this one from Muji. It was actually on sale, which was nice. Muji was having a sale, so I got this pencil case. It's just like a simple pencil case. I like it because it's flat, you know, and you can kind of pack it, and it's nice for traveling, and it fits pretty much all of my pens in. I got this 25B pencil where it's got like a little rubber at the end. I tried this in the shop and I was very hesitant whether to get it or not, because it was a bit on the spenny side. Well, it wasn't spenny, but it was just more expensive than the other ones that I got. But as soon as I tried it, the lead in here is so soft. I would so recommend getting this if you're someone who likes to draw traditionally, like in pencil especially. This is so nice. The feel of it was just so soft, and I'm someone who really loves soft pencils, apart from like, you know, for sketching, where I usually just use where's the one? Yeah, so for sketching I usually just use this one, which is just a 0.5mm from a brand called Kurutoga, I don't know. I cannot remember where I got this from. I think I got it from H. Smith, potentially. I don't know. It's been a while. I've had that one for a very long time. Next from Muji, I got another 0.5mm. And I liked it because you can tell when you're running out of lead. And lastly, I also got this brush pen. So it's got this like really pointy nib. And I don't own a pen like this, and I thought, because I've also been thinking at the back of my head, I'm thinking already about Inktober that's coming up. Since I started doing Inktober last year, I thought I would make a new list this year as well, and I thought this pen would be really good for it. The last thing I got was also a water bottle, but I don't have it here with me. It's in the kitchen, but I'll insert what it looks like here. And this was also on sale. I think it was clearance actually, and yeah, they were selling it half price, so I grabbed it because I only have really big water bottles, and I know I shouldn't be buying more water bottles because I have loads, but this one was really tiny and small, so I thought it would be great for just traveling, you know. And I also really like how it opens, because it's got like that little click and flap, and it just like springs open. So yeah, that was my mini Muji haul. I'm not sure if I will do another catch up, most likely not, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.